I trust you've heard what befell Roderick. Thank you.
A pleasure.
Entirely clear. An army of some sort, okay?
You heard? Maybe.
When it all cleared, she was still in charge. So what was the point?
Good day.
You would not believe
Salutations.
the alliance is shattered and broken that night.
Sounds like a wash.
Oh, it seems so. And I've decided to go a different way entirely.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
Well, this is grim.
Poor bastard. So, where's food? Orlesians always stock these things.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Oh, shit.
Blackwall! No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead. And has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
There is no doubt. Captain Tom Rainier.
He wore the shield.
That is concerning, yes.
We're keeping order. Wonder well what did... There is an issue that you should address. I think it's worth your time, Inquisitor. You have, of course, notified the stakeholders.
They are expecting your death.
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
You saved that man. That took courage.
Courage? I killed innocent people. Destroyed Mornay's life and the lives of others like him. One moment of courage will not make up for that. Why are you here?
I needed you to know you aren't alone in this.
Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
Would a monster have given himself up? Somewhere along the line, you stopped pretending.
Yes?
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. We headed to Val-Chavan, an old road I was to go down on. When I returned, he took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been me.
Not saying I disagree, but Blackwall clearly thought you were worth saving.
No one should have died. He would have won, but without Blackwall, I couldn't go to the war. So, Rainier died. And Blackwall lived.
Who were you?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. Well regarded. One mistake. One mistake and everything I worked for fell apart.
The man on the gallows?
My second in command. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
I need to know the details of what you did.
I betrayed the Empire and assassinated a general, all for gold. The man was General Vincent Callier. My employer, Sir Robert, believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais and would eventually take the throne. He thought that by eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might... I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, of course the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act and publicly condemned. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
My reports say that Callier...
I didn't know Callier would be traveling with his family. I assumed only so. My men have been told to eliminate everyone. They'd see. No one likes to think about that. But it's names that carry power in it. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
That shouldn't be how wars are fought. There's no need.
War is unfair. And the sky. But you're right. There was no need for what I did.
You got your men to help you. What did you
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. Just as your men trust you.
Armies are weapons.
Weapons don't have lives, families, dreams. An army is not just a weapon.
There's another thing.
Yes.
That's all.
I have Liliana's report on Tom Rainier.
Give me the overview.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of Celine's biggest supporters. He led a group of fiercely loyal men on this mission, and told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. Even Liliana has something of a blind spot when it comes to wardens. What do we do now? Blackwall... Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
He wanted to change. To prove that he'd really left his past behind, he had to face up to it.
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.
Good morrow, Val Royal.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Boisvert's invited us to it. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
Lead the way.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Boisvert.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
We appreciate your help, Comte.
The death of Lady Montily's servants must weigh heavily on you. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archive. Contract for a life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montilier's trading exile in Orlais.
Overly complicated assassination plots are part of Orlesian politics, I take it.
You saw them firsthand at Al-Amshiral, Inquisitor.
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Duparquets.
But the Duparquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Duparquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royal. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Orlesian businesses live and die by their reputations. The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, Your Worship. The House of Repose is doing what it feels necessary, by its standards.
I assume you have a thought or two on this, Josephine.
The du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montelier. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
The House of Repose has some nerve sending a killer to greet us.
Hardly anyone in the League isn't trained for this, Inquisitor. The contract on Lady Montilier's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, Monsieur.
Your idea to seek out the du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
Go, then.
Good day, Your Worship. My lady, I pray we never meet again.
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
We'll deal with these assassins.
I have some thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
Here's something.
Oh, goodness. Comte Poivert, is that you? Oh, the lock's been broken off. We'll find a saw. I realize the cabinet is quite valuable, Comte, but surely... A locksmith, then? As you wish.
I will prepare some flanking exercises. Inquisitor. Inquisitor.
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? That's easy. We're good at killing shit. Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
It's been an honor, Bull.
Oh, don't get like that. This isn't goodbye. We're kicking this guy's ass. How you doing, Kadan?
I'd like to talk about you and me.
Sure, boss. What's up?
Do you have some free time?
For you? Always.
The altar awaits our visit, Inquisitor.
Hear my cry.
different. It shines on you, shimmering, sharp. You made magic from the rifts.
I take it not all mages feel...
Solus is the same, but quieter. The Fade is his friend. Vivienne is crisp and cool. The Fade dances, darts, lashed and leashed. Dorian pulls at pieces, pushing them to bodies. I like him more when it's just fire. And the Venatori are dark and hard and cracked and old. They pull the Fade with blood and pain and ancient lying whispers.
Do I seem that different to you?
The Fade sticks to mages. Little figments, flitting, floating free, then forced into shapes. Fire up. You use the Fade itself. You make it charged, but not... It's strong and pure, and loud. You ripple like water when the stone is dropped.
I hope you like the way I feel now.
Yes. Did you need me?
How'd you like to get out of here? Maybe do something fun.
I don't know.
Come on.
Inquisitor, you honor us with your presence. May I bring a sampling of fine cheeses for you and your guests?
I don't eat.
Well then, just a bottle of a fine Gislane White to start. Please enjoy your meal this evening, your worship.
He saw me. They all see me.
I'm glad you've allowed them to.
I don't know if I did. I find people when their pain leaves them open. I ease the pain. I leave, they forget. That was enough for me. Now they remember, and I'm not sure...
Cole?
There was a mage named Reese at the spire. He was one of the few who could see me. He was my friend, my only friend, for a long time. Evangeline showed me that Templars could be kind, but even she...
Cole, if this is troubling, we don't have to talk about it.
Gentle. You watch me walk into darkness over and over, and you always worry. Thank you. But this isn't about them. It's about... When I found out I wasn't human, when I grew, I lost Reese. That's why I was scared about letting all these people see me. That's why I laughed.
You're covering the fear with laughter.
No. This world taught me that changing me... But now I know that doesn't happen. I have enough self to know that what I felt was foolish. Isn't it wonderful?
It's another good step, Cole.
I might like being human. Roderick was sorry before he died.
Did he tell you why he was sorry?
Blood everywhere. Monsters, madness. The Herald stands against it, and heads voices in the chantry. Years since I'd sung the song and felt... So long since I'd felt it. Falling, flying, faith. And I fought... He meant to watch forever. He called himself Sorrow.
May I...
It hurt, but I'm real. More real, anyway. And I understand more than I did.
Why can't you make people forget?
Because I'm real. The forgetting was for both sides. They weren't frightened. Making people... Because I'm real, everything sticks. Whatever people think or feel.
Can you still help people?
It's harder. But seeing me changes them. That helps.
You're still able...
Yes, I still feel things. It's not so... I remember more things. I sometimes see why something I said would bother Cullen. Maybe I'll...
Are you still physically the same, or are you...
I was always fully human. The way I move comes from my mind. My body is just like the real Cole's. Except that he was a mage. I'm not.
Why aren't you a mage?
I can't know for sure, but the real Cole, his sister might have died. Then the Templars threw Cole in darkness and starved him. Or he thought that if he didn't have magic, I'm what he wanted to be.
What's the difference between...
Spirits are... They just are. They don't remember. I wanted to... Now I can see more.
Inquisitor. I have been thinking. The explosion at Hay... In your report, you said just... Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
Wait. You don't know what she meant either.
There are no answers in the fate. Only illusion. Justinia has... I was her left hand. So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even... Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
They must be desperate.
It's much less... If only restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
If the Chantry is a sinking ship,
The Chantry did terrible things to your people. I understand why you might hate it. But do you think ages of elven hatred will just disappear if the Chantry does? Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
It was the Chantry that taught people.
If the Chantry led them to this place, the people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to but this is a A message from Divine Justinia.
Dead people usually don't send messages.
And I see you feel it necessary to inform me of this. This message was written months. I've heard of... I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There...
Do you know what...
The Divine... What... If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
You take your instructions from me. What sort of help can a dead divine give you?
I don't know. Perhaps some... She guide... There are days when I still look to her for advice. Only to...
Why hide...
Justinia... It is a place that holds great meaning for her. Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree. One more thing. I shall meet... Is it so ridiculous for the Grand Clerics to support me? Why shouldn't they?
If you were divine, what would you...
Change things. Change... Your support of the Mage Rebellion was a good start. We must build... No more circles. In fact, it will accept everyone. The Chantry allows our differences to tear us apart, instead of teaching us how we are the same.
I think you would make a good...
I am glad to hear it. Your support may persuade the Grand Cleric. Justinia wanted to accept the mages. Our treatment of them... But perhaps it is not just mages we must accept, but all people. A nice dream, no?
That goes against the Chant of Light.
Andraste's teachings have been used for ages to... But what am I saying? Perhaps I should stop filling my head with such foolish notions. Your open support... Our age... If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
People...
That gets... Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages. Me? There are plenty of tales in the library.
What did you do
I trained for... She presented me with my own network of spies.
You see...
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's I had... The world seemed much duller after that.
What do you...
Work with her.
You see...
We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a...
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
Elan's good. My best.
What do you think allowed the triumph of the temple? One of our own enters.
The Dales are calming. We could try to go back.
To what? Peaceful soldiers. I'd rather fight here. At least here it matters. At least here needs an army, navy, I'm stupid and believed in things.
Does his name matter so much?
I heard reports of the... It sounds magnificent. I hope we can explore it.
I didn't expect...
Was there anything else, Inquisitor? What would you like to know? I've spoken with Ambassador. More than that, I cannot say.
Good, Inquisitor. I am glad that issue has been resolved. We are groaning with resources, a reflection of your
My Lord Inquisitor.
I'd like to know more.
If you have questions, then ask. As
Come swiftly. The day, defeat him, and you'll be more than a holy man to the people. You'll enter legend. And people, I wanted to tell you that I share their sentiments, Inquisitor, and...
I hope you're...
Far. I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
It's so like you to take the long...
I assume you already know everything about this man.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vault. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin...
Liliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Rayo?
We can solve this without more deaths on either side.
My people are ready, should you... I'll post a...
I appreciate. First, any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
You said I'd have to do some...
The ring.
We'll be spread thin until the rest of our forces return from the Arbor Wilds.
Of course. Letters are pouring in from all corners. Congratulations, pledges of loyalty, conversions to Andraste.
All premature until we deal with Corypheus.
Let us begin.
All right.
I must return to Valrayo to see that everything is in order. Please join me. For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. It was no small expense to bring him here, but the decision of what to do with him is now yours.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. What did you have to do to release me?
Josephine called in a few favors. There are enough people out there who owe the Inquisition.
And what happens to the reputation the Ambassador has so carefully cultivated? The world will learn how you've used your influence. They'll know the Inquisition is corrupt.
I wish there'd been another way, but my options were limited.
You could have left me there. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end. Why would you stop it? What becomes of me now?
Blackwall intended you join the Wardens. I will let them decide your fate, but only when Corypheus is dead. For now, Tom Rainier, the Inquisition needs you.
As you command.
Blackwall gave you the chance to atone through action, not merely punishment. I find I can do no less.
I am grateful for this, Inquisitor. And I will serve for as long as I can.
Forgive me, Inquisitor. For personal interest, I have relieved Josephine, as you might expect. Knight Templar Samson, general to Corypheus, traitor to the Order. The blood on his hands cannot be measured. His head is too valuable to take. Kirkwall, Orlais, many would see him suffer. I can't say I'm not one of them.
Judging him will affect as many as his crimes. I won't take it lightly.
The Red Lyrium will steal your vengeance. You know what it does. Corypheus only delayed my corruption.
Are you still loyal to that thing? He poisoned the Order, used them to kill thousands.
Templars have always been used. How many were left to rot like I was, after the Chantry burned away their minds? Piss on it. I followed him, so Templars could at least die at their best. Same lie as the Chantry. The profit just isn't as pretty.
I found your people. They believed in you. Believed your cause was righteous.
Not your business, Inquisitor.
Your friend Maddox was so loyal, he killed himself. For you.
They were always going to die. I saw what Corypheus was doing. So yes, I fed them hope instead of despair. I made them believe their pain had purpose. Just like the Chantry does. Right, Commander? It ended as well as anything else I've done. Corypheus would kill me on sight. I'll tell your people what they want. Everything I cared about is destroyed.
Very well. Samson, you will spend your remaining years serving the Inquisition. Cullen will be your handler. Perhaps he can get something useful out of you.
I doubt the commander believes there's anything worthy left in me.
You're not wrong, but you served something greater than yourself once. Perhaps you can be made to remember that.
Inquisitor.
have a Ben Hasrat with us. A spy, an actual Canary spy. That doesn't strike anyone as a bad thing?
Says the Vint. When we're fighting, Vince.
That's not a terrible point. Okay.
Inquisitor?
How shall I refer to you? Rainier or Blackwall?
I've gotten used to Blackwall. Perhaps we could treat it as less of a name and more of a title. Almost like Inquisitor. Reminds me of what I ought to be.
Everyone needs something to aspire to.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Is there enough?
I made very little up. Warden Blackwall told me a bit before, but it is a secretive order. Not even the most senior warden.
Now we...
Yes. There's more to it than being able to sense darkspawn. Warden...
The Wardens at Adamant listened to you. They saw...
Perhaps it takes an outside... I suppose I reminded them of something they'd forgotten.
You have a lot...
They take... I needed to believe something like that was possible. He never... That night, didn't know I had an audience.
Did you start a fight while drunk?
Make her know. I wasn't drunk, but I was trying to get... Told the girl to keep the wine coming. She couldn't, not with those louts bothering her. Something had to be done.
I've chosen a buckle over with two corners.
So bold. I have selected simple shades of rose. A shopping parasol.
You'll distract from the happy couple.
Impossible.
Stone mad, Inquisitor.
Do you have in...
Who better, right? Stone mad, Inquisitor. Who better, right?
If you require any assistance.
I can't make heads or tails of this. Age regression. Who is this potion for?
What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the snowy wyvern?
I've brought you the heart as requested.
Inquisitor, you are a treasure. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me. This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling.
Vivienne,
Yes, darling.
it's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastien?
Vivienne, I'm sorry.
There's nothing here now.
So Varric knew where the champion was all along.
Anything I should...
It's been... With Samson gone, the Red Templars are scrambling.
I'll...
It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
I needed her wisdom after the hero of Ferelden died.
I didn't expect it to be so... deserted. It makes me uneasy.
It's a small village and it's too early for the chant. I'm sure the sisters are some...
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lord, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
You owe me 20 readings of the Canticle of Trials for that insult.
He doesn't mean it. Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch. Lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around. Traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear. I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Spectacular, isn't it?
What was that?
Like we opened something. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Good old Leliana was playing you the whole time. Didn't you realize?
They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
We don't have to be at odds, Natalie. You could come with us. Join the Inquisition.
I was called to serve the Grand Cleric. I will not betray her. Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
We don't have to kill her.
No. I must protect the Inquisition. She is an enemy.
I see what you've become. The righteous stand before the darkness, and the Maker shall
No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me. Just like I'd been used, but Marjolaine's games were trifles. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that. I know. And hearing... Justinia tried to save me, but all it's done is made me realize there is work to be done. I'll see you...
I'll make sure it's known. There are holdouts, but the Inquisition is welcome.
read Liliana's report. Her people infiltrated the League of Assassins targeting you. The contract on your life has been destroyed. You should be safe now.
And thus we outwit the House of Repose.
Should we have waited for an assassin to sneak through instead?
I've no doubt that the guild was staffed by vicious men and women, Inquisitor. It's simply... Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer?
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Val Royeaux when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of a group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for...
I don't imagine many firstborn heirs.
No. I was a rat. During one particular intrigue, I encountered... we fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard threw in... You can imagine the result.
You've drawn a clear enough picture.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
From bard to diplomat.
I was headed down that path for some time already. That night merely crystallized. In all the commotion... forgive me. I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on.
I will never forget you helped. And should you ever...